Hello? Speed Duels is officially discontinued? I shouldn't rush to any conclusions? Mm-hmm. 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 Wakata. Rush to conclusions? Come on now, what could possibly cause me to... Hello everyone. With the announcement of Speed Duel product stopping for the time being, with a gap left in product releases seemingly waiting for the right format to seize it, I figured I would make a video going over how I would handle Rush Duel's international release. Now I should stress this is more of a wish list rather than being realistic or based on Konami precedent, due to the fact we've had a continued streak of bad product releases for the TCG, to the point some stores are outright refusing to hold Yu-Gi-Oh products. Making a video based on those standards would just be depressing. Instead, this will be my take on a best case scenario and a blueprint of sorts on how to make Rush have the best showing possible. Konami, if you're listening, I suggest taking notes. You're gonna love what I'm cooking up. So, how would I handle the Rush release? Simple. I would take a three-pronged approach with three core pillars. 1. The products need to make Rush readily accessible. 2. They must cater to existing Rush fans and new ones. 3. They have to be worth opening outside of being a mechanism for acquiring singles. Let's start by tackling accessibility. What's the best option for us? We begin by ripping off Speed Duel's best idea. That's right, we're gonna make our own Battle City box for Rush. Since the anime dub wasn't heavily advertised to the wider community, we're just gonna call it Dawn of Rush, for a catchy name. What's gonna be in it? 8 different decks for 8 different anime characters. This is basically gonna be like the battle decks released during the 7's era, but we'll group them all together into one product. Naturally, Yuga, Luke, Roman, Gakto, Roa, Nail, and Asana are all automatically included with all their decks and support. You might ask, you said 8 different decks. Those were 7. Who's the 8th character? Well, that character is going to be Tai. It's Yuo. Sorry, Queen, for making the bit. Indeed, with just one product, we're gonna have maximums and fusions in the format. Why Rush releases like this? Solely because we haven't had Rush imported in such a long time. Playing catch-up Duel Link style, incrementally speeding up to where Rush currently isn't gonna cut it. If Rush has any chance of succeeding, we need to put our best foot forward and show off what the game has to offer. Yes, this also means equips are arriving early too. I don't really need to go into specific deck contents because that is way too elaborate for this kind of video, other than the fact that these decks will feature more modern or Go Rush era support. We need to make a good impression, but not necessarily ditch all the old cards. A good balance between classic and current Rush needs to be made. Here's the big thing. How do we make this product worth reopening multiple times so customers have an incentive outside of just getting 3 of every card? We include promos. 2 promo packs, in fact. The first one is the classic speed formula of having higher rarity version of cards included in the box. These can be in TCG style secrets, prismatics, or even importing Rush rares. This way you offer more value for people looking to bling out their decks or collections. As for the second promo pack, to entice older Yu-Gi-Oh fans, it will feature 3 fan favorite over Rush rares to pull: Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, and his reliable ally, Gaia the Fierce Knight. Yeah, over Rush rare Dark Magician girl's not gonna be here. Are you insane? These are already gonna be available in the box as regular arts, but the over Rush rares will just be from this promo pack. This is to make the introductory product extremely desirable and worth opening even for someone casually into Yu-Gi-Oh! Who isn't familiar with 7s. Now to my second approach. In addition to the introductory box set, we're also gonna release at a later date 2 structure decks. These will be themed structures, and the idea is that you get people to play against each other when they see it at the store. There are a lot of approaches to take, such as introducing more anime decks. However, I have an idea that Konami is more likely to take, that being we use these for the import decks. namely Cyber Dragons and Harpies. It introduces more fusions and maxes into the format. They're both fan-favorite decks, and all you have to do is make sure neither one is too tuned above the older 7s deck. Once more, we can't just make good structures and call it a day. Thus, we resort to stealing more ideas. This time, it's from Rush's own releases, specifically the strongest battle decks from the Go Rush era. With these structures came a special bonus pack, which included legend cards you could pull to bolster your deck. We're gonna do the same here, having 3 different legends you can chase after: Pot of Greed, Mirror Force, and Zaborg the Thunder Monarch. Simple, easy cards, and any deck should be able to include them. After making Rush accessible, all that's left is to finish off with a staple of any TCG, a main box set. Notably, since we introduced a wide breadth of cards earlier, this gives the main box room to not bloat its set list, making cards harder to pull. However, we can't just repeat what the TCG does with its boxes. That model is unsustainable and will kill any good momentum the Rush release has built. That's why packs need to change in distinct and impactful ways. Firstly, make cards available in multiple rarities. Meta-defining cards locked behind one rarity is terrible for accessibility and makes opening boxes not worth it for the average consumer. Secondly, reduce the number of cards, mainly commons and packs, to cut down on box chat. Players should have close to a play set of the lower rarity cards from one box, not a mountain of pack filler they can't get rid of. Plus, this can lower the individual pack price by a bit. Lastly, give incentives for buying boxes. Current Rush boxes are a great example of this, having over Rush rares and special unique alt arts to chase and collect. Speaking of incentives, we will also have a special promo pack to celebrate Rush's release. This one mainly focused on the alt arts we got over the years for monsters, mainly the Blue Flame 7's Road cards, Phantom Dragius, and the Blueberry promos, basically giving upgrades to cards from the Dawn of Rush box. So, after ensuring boxes are better overall, what's the theme we're going for this box? Well, it's only fitting we follow in Yu-Gi-Oh tradition and go with a classic. Introducing Duelists of 7s. Yup, we're going green pack with this, and as expected, it will boost the decks introduced in Dawn by releasing their fusions, and will debut a classic Rush original deck in Blaze Fiends, alongside more anime maxes like Overroad and Worm Excavator, and that's it. Obviously, this was more on the optimistic side, with some clear bias on my part, but it's my video, so I do what I want. Mainly, I just wanted to share this because I've seen and read several statements made about how it's too late for Rush to be imported, or it will flop when it comes over. All these opinions and statements can be thrown out so long as we just make good product and a great first impression. The format will sell itself and attract players just like it did in Japan and Korea. You just need to reduce the financial barrier of entry and make product purchases enjoyable, not just reserved for the secondary market and price speculators. Most importantly, the attempt must be earnest on Konami's behalf and come with official, dedicated support. Give tournament packages for local game stores to run Rush tournaments. Engage with the community with outreach and marketing, and make Rush a main event. Having it available in side events at YCSs is obvious, but again, we want to sell the game, sell the format, give people the desire and goal to compete, and eventually we can even have it on the world stage. Is Rush guaranteed to come over? No, of course not. Nevertheless, that's not gonna stop me, and it shouldn't stop you from wanting it. So, join and share. Join and make yourselves heard. If we join our voices together, we can manifest a new miracle. Thanks for watching. A new video essay in 2 months. New personal best, I'm telling you. Jokes aside, I want to hear what y'all think about the product. Good idea, bad idea, anything you change or add. Whatever it is, write it down below. Also, important update, I'll soon start being extremely busy again, which might delay my next video by a bit. Hopefully I can work something out, but just putting it out there in case I disappear for a couple of months. Anyway, tell Konami every chance you get you want Rush Duels. Later!